Hi, my name is Annie. All the things that are going on, I'm asking the question, what is spirit doing? And I think that's the question that you need to ask yourself to let go of your preferences and go beyond the preferences of the ego and the mind and the attachments and just go deep and observe what your mind is doing as a spirit, and then ask yourself as you view the collective, what is spirit doing? Okay. And these are the things, like some of the things that keep coming back for me is that we are in a forced awakening. And very few of us just awaken without being forced into it, without finding life not so comfortable and so wanting something beyond that. Or I guess I say finding life in the mind. Um, Being in the illusion isn't fun anymore. Being in the dream isn't fun anymore. And you want to wake up from the dream. And then there's this enlightenment period, this awakening. So this happens through illness, death, failure, failure in relationships, a big loss of personal identification with the self that was made and conditioned, and that loss of that attached identity can awaken someone. Spontaneous awakenings happen too for no apparent reason. It hurts a lot of us to face ourselves, okay? It hurts a lot of us until we can get to a point of facing our failures, facing the aspects of ourselves that we don't like, facing the things and the wrongs that we've done to others. Everybody's one, everybody's us, like if you look at it from that perspective. But that self-criticism and that judgment is really, really, really hard. And so for isolation, for a lot of people, this forced awakening is hands down going to be hard. For the people who've already gotten forced into awakening, it's a little easier because they already have the tools, they've already been through it. A lot of people have already been hermited for God knows how long. What's happening is spirit, in my humble opinion, whatever, take it however you want, however it resonates, but spirit is like taking away like that social atmosphere with alcohol, taking away a lot of like interactions with large groups of people. And in my opinion, like these are things that just, okay, Spirit's asking us to become conscious of oneself, all aspects. When we drink alcohol, we become unconscious and we're in the dream. When we hang out with friends, if we don't know our own energy and what our truth is, it can fill a void, and it's still an illusion because it's an aspect of yourself that you're seeing as separate. Okay, the more time you spend alone, the more time you go within, the more the illusion becomes just a teacher. And so I feel like Spirit's trying to teach us that by allowing us or forcing us into spending that time alone and looking within. So not bad to be around people, be around family, be around friends. There's a lot of teaching in that, but it's reducing it. So you can learn a lot of lessons just from the one person you're living with or the 5 people that you're living with. And you can learn a lot of lessons just from interacting with YouTube. Actually, you can learn a lot of lessons, interacting by yourself with nature, reading books, things like that, talking on the phone. It's just what it's doing is reducing the level of, and hands down, I've talked to friends where they shifted my consciousness in that conversation because we go so deep. So it's not like you're always unconscious. It's just if you're in large groups of people, the chances of, unless if it is a meditation group or something like that, where it's a group of people with very high levels of consciousness, a lot of times you're struggling a lot of lower and very dense energies, and they attach to you or you identify them as yourself, and it's hard to discern what's your energy, and it's hard to be conscious of your consciousness. Okay, so I feel like what's happening is Spirit's taking away a lot of the things and blocks that get you that keep you from learning about your truth and who you are. We're also going to focus on the body more because we're going to watch our immune system, keep our immune system healthy, and we're going to become way more aware of alternative health measures, more organic health measures, things that connect us to the earth. And I think we're going to start to learn, and we already are, how being conscious, being in this aspect of your soul is the healer. It will heal your body because it transcends the body. And so we're going to look and we're going to understand more of the healing power of moving into that consciousness by force to survive. But also, as more and more people move into this consciousness, you just have to go near them and you're going to get charged with their awareness and their consciousness. Especially the closer you move into your consciousness, the exchange becomes very powerful. It's another reason why we're distancing ourselves from one another. Dude, I hope I explained this well. So like, you know, as we raise our consciousness, like we are helping each other on YouTube too. It's just don't over identify with any one person. Identify with things that make your soul feel expansive. Listen to things that don't like totally entertain your ego, you know, and put you in the dream and the illusion. Listen to things that help expand your consciousness, help move you into your soul, where you don't judge, where you feel peace, where you allow yourself to be exactly as you are and all those around you to be at peace in the middle of a time where we don't know what's going to happen. And that's a forced place of being present. I almost want to say like we're in a time of like doing nothing and just being. And in that being state, without the mind controlling or telling you what you should and shouldn't do to be good or bad or right or wrong, or be a part of, you know, be a bigger egoic self. You know what I'm saying? So we're moving in a place of being, and we just allow ourselves to be. We don't have to do anything. In that place, we might find things to do. Does that make sense? Like, for instance, like, if you're going to clean your house, like, you're not going to clean it anymore because people are coming over and you're worried about what they think of you. You're going to clean it because you just want it to be clean for you. You know, everything's for you. It's no longer, like, we're moving into this, like, what's good for you? What's good for your spirit? What's a good environment for your spirit? What makes your spirit happy? What is spirit doing? How can you answer the call of spirit? What brings you joy? Do nothing till you figure it out. And if it's something that you need to show people and prove to yourself something, then you can question it, because it might end up becoming a burden, because you want it to be solely in alignment with spirit, because we're becoming so light and we don't want any burdens in our way, you know? So we're forced to go within. We're forced to be in the present and not know the future, what's going to happen. We have to face our mortality, a lot of us, and our fears, okay, and transmute them and move through them. And I think the downloads that I get that's beautiful is that if we do move into this place of soul, we can redefine how our body works, how it handles viruses. We might be able to hold viruses and not fight them and resist them, and share space with them, or maybe be beyond that, you know. Maybe we no longer observe a virus as something that makes us sick, and so it doesn't. You know what I'm saying? We no longer observe our body as something that needs to fight anything. It can just flow through us. I also think that as we clear out a lot of density, which is, like I have an analogy, like we're kind of moving into like being an electric car, but we're still putting gas in it. We need to wake up to the fact that we've become an electric car, okay? Spirit is moving very, it wants to move really strongly in us, I think. That's what it seems like it's doing in my life. And that's all I have to go by, really. It's moving fiercely through the body, and there can't be a lot of density in the body. We have to let go of fear and guilt and shame, heavy foods, heavy thoughts, behaviors that harm other aspects of us outside of ourselves, because everything's us, including Mother Earth. And most importantly, being conscious of what the mind's doing, and start to merge with that. If we're staying in the moment, there's never going to be an ulterior motive from the ego. There's a lot more peace in the moment. And there's not a need to forgive because there's no unforgiveness if you are staying in the moment. So everything that's not in the moment's collapsing around us. And I guess this is the forced awakening that we are calling it in. And there is no right or wrong or good or bad. It's asking, what is Spirit doing? Because Spirit is all of this. So there's not one side that's evil and corrupt, and there's not one side that's good and on our side. It's all at play, working together to do a new, I don't even know if it's new, it's doing something, okay? And this is what I see Spirit's doing, is it's a forced awakening. Spirit wants to reveal our ego, our mind wants to reveal our mind to itself. Our spirit wants to reveal ourselves to ourselves. On that note, let's do a read on the new moon. It's like I can't pretend that I'm like it's heavy, and I can't pretend that I don't have like an internal dialogue going on at times about doing YouTube videos and talking about this online. Because it's a very doing energy, and everything I'm saying is an illusion too, because I'm projecting another story and another dream, you know? And so you really just gotta, if it helps you, if it makes you observe yourself and all that is, then take it. If it makes you nervous or it exasperates your ego, chuck it, you know, just chuck it. And I'm personally doing it for myself because I'm trying to reveal myself to myself as well. Okay, and I'm trying to call in the aspects of myself, which would be you, that are in alignment with this. Just support, you know. So there's a selfishness to it, but it's coming from a total loving place, because as I love myself, my true self, I love you. There's no way around that. There's no way around that. When you love your core, when you love your authentic self, when you love all that is the source energy, the consciousness, the awareness that is aware of what the body-mind complex is and this whole illusion, it's light, it's peace, it's peace, it's acceptance. And so if I move into that space, and so if I do these videos to help remind me of this space, and even though it might come across as selfish, like this is how I'm talking myself into this, and I'm saying this to you for me as well, so that I can move into that space. And hey, this is an experiment. I don't know for sure if this is what works, you know, for me on my journey. But if it helps you, and you need to do these kinds of things, do it. I mean, if this is the way we need to communicate with each other to help lift each other up and reveal and remind ourselves to wake up and stay consciousness, and this is who we are, do it. Do it. Bring your truth. And it's okay to be wrong until you're right, because there is no right or wrong. It's the observing, and it's like, it's a learning. It's a thing that can't be explained in words at all. And so Mama Earth is like talking to me, like, and it's like she's calm, and she's expanding, and she's like freaking filling up my heart with peace. And I can sense the split between that consciousness and my mind, or that awareness of my mind, really a lot more, but I don't know how to talk in that space. I have my mind to work with, and I think my mind's been pretty like, help, what the fuck's going on, yo? Like, I've had to deal with so much shit in the last year. Like, I'm like, I need to, like, just go ahead and be. Like, don't try to explain anything, you know? So that's like my hesitation. You get it? So I'm just going to explain it the best I can and probably edit and shit like that. And maybe I'll become a master of it. Maybe I really won't ever figure it out. I don't know, you know? Fucking knows. The Three of Swords want to pop out. Heartbreak. All right, let's ask a question. Okay, give us a reading, please, for the collective, for the new moon. Just exactly what we need to hear, okay? The Knight of Wands. Ooh, why isn't that working? Oh, because Here we go. That's why I was like such a glare before. All right, and then we have the Hierophant. Okay. Whoa, okay. I'm already getting like, wow, this is the split. See, I have done like intro things on my readings, and then the readings just say what I say on the intro. That is fucking crazy. That's why I should just do the reading, right? So we have the Hierophant and the Knight of Wands, okay? And the Knight of Wands a lot of times is considered this sort of kind of immature energy, in and out energy, non-committal, very like, you know, for a male, a player energy. So like really like full of like charisma, but definitely wearing a mask, or definitely not really being respectful for feminine energy, or their own feminine energy, or their own, you know, and it's okay to experience and live out any, you know, these are all aspects of ourselves anyway, but it's an immature energy that's in and out, that's not committed, and we're talking about committed to oneself too, you know. It's definitely a mask. It has a good exciting mask. It's a player. It's a player of the show. It's a player of the illusion. We're moving into an Hierophant energy where it's crossing it. So there's these two energies. It's like the Hierophant is teaching the Knight of Wands right now. You know what I'm saying? And it's also the split of that consciousness, of that awareness I was talking about, and then the mind, you know? And they need to integrate. And so they're crossing each other, but they need that integration so that we can, you know, I mean, Hierophant's the teacher. The teacher can explain all of this very well. Okay, so maybe if this was my reading, I'm moving into this ability to explain all this really well. Moving out of the mind into the spirit, okay? Definitely like a transition from illusion to consciousness is definitely kind of that energy I'm getting, and I'm getting it with masculine energy too. So that masculine energy of doing and producing and all that stuff, you know, that fast moving fiery energy is turning into this like really committed, respectful of Mother Nature, respectful of the feminine energies, respectful of itself, its soul, its spirit. And it's turning the illusion into a very stable place for the earth. Or in other words, it's the subconscious, which is programming your world, is becoming very stable. It's becoming more grounded into the earth. And the Queen of Wands is, whoa. Yeah, because there's been, the Queen of Coins for this one is just to me grounding into the earth, okay? And that's what's happening. That's the world that's your subconscious. So it's the world you're creating. You're repatterning that. But for some of you on the split, it's also holding on to the old material. I'll clarify them all. I'll clarify all of them and see, you know, what else. We have the Death card, and that is basically the forced awakening that's going on, and that started in the recent past. So we're ego death transformation. And really, ego death is just ego death. But also death. Shit, this is death. Yeah. God, that's crazy. So there's a lot of in the collective that wants to still be in control. It's a lot of but we are moving into stability and moving into a heart space. This is the Four of Wands in the near future. It's a pretty positive outcome. Yeah, we're in an isolation. This is this is how we see ourselves. This is the Four of Swords. That's the rest card. That's the healing card. Sleeping, spending time alone, healing, alone time. It's like, why do you get a reading to just tell you what's going on? It's good out. I mean, it just confirms that the cards are in alignment with what's going on. You know, it's kind of exciting actually for me as a reader to see the cards come out like with what's going on. I don't know. It's fun. Ooh. Oh. So yeah, there's a new manifestation going on. And this is a very independent card. Okay. So there's an aloneness. This is the external environment and you're alone. Go figure. But you're manifesting, you're expanding, you're turning into your own Empress energy, which is embodying all the elements. And to me, it's embodying all aspects of ourselves. So we do want to start anew. Okay, that's our wish. Our spirit's wish is to begin again. You know? Yeah. God, dude, you can't make this stuff up. Judgment. This is like, to me, literally judgment, like Judgment Day, the end times, like where spirit comes in and is like, all right, we're done playing this game. We're playing spirit's game now. It's the story. It was written, right? It was written. So I just don't see it the way the Bible describes it, you know? And I think that the message that I'm getting in this forced awakening, quote unquote, is that as long as we are in the aspect of our soul, as long as we accept all that there is, that is sort of like God consciousness. I mean, God accepts us for no matter what we've done. You know, He loves us, you know, this is what they teach you, right? He loves you no matter who you are, what you've done. He knows every hair on your head, you know, like He knows everything about you and He loves you. Okay. If we're a one, in everything that you see is an aspect of you, you're accepting it all. Acceptance for what it is. That's unconditional love. When you're in that space, you're accepting death, you're accepting sickness, you're accepting what spirit's doing, you're accepting what life is doing. You're in a very, very safe place, and there was a promise. And I think that is a promise for us. You're beyond fear, you know? But hands down, there's resistance at the subconscious and the consciousness, okay? With a lot of us, and especially with our masculine energies. We still want to we still want to control, we still want to know what's going on. There's definitely, and there's a call to merge. There's a call to allow things to be what they're going to be, accept not doing anything, accept the unknown, accept the fear of the mind, watch what it's doing, observe, hold space for it like you're God, because you are. We're going to learn to take care of ourselves like on such a deeper level. It all starts with our consciousness, really, but in that space, the more that you love all that you are, you just love all that you are. So you go drink some water because you love all that you are. You don't drink the water because you subconsciously don't love all that you are. Laziness is just an avoidance of being here, in a sense, probably. It's really not so fun to be here for a lot of us that, for most of us, it's like, it is fun and it's not fun until we learn to accept what is and have a healthy ego. And some people were raised with a healthy ego and are like that already, but a lot of people aren't. And nothing around us is encouraging that, which we created. So we exasperated unhealthy egos. But even if you have a really good life, there's those around you that are suffering. And those that are around you that are suffering are you. Are you ignorant of them? Have you been, if you're a happy person, have you been ignorant of them? Or do you embrace all that there is? I'm just asking because I'm talking to myself. You know what I'm saying? So it's just something to look at, you know, until we're all like in alignment with our truth and with accepting everything as it is and helping each other through that and exchanging each other's energies of that kind of consciousness. That's what's going on. We're moving beyond the illusion. We're changing. The wheel's turning. There's change. We're changing from the Knight of Wands again, because I clarified the Knight of Wands, and the Knight of Wands is going to move beyond the illusion and change into the Hierophant, or merge and be both. Embody both. You don't have to just be one or the other. You can be the Knight of Wands to spark the interest, to spark the energy, and then you can be committed and follow through with it on your path. Let's just say the Knight of Wands helps spark that energy of like awakening. Like, yeah, that's the path. And oh my God, just a touch of that soul consciousness. Oh, cool. And then the Knight of Wands will run away and not do that anymore, right? But then the Knight of Wands merges with the Hierophant energy. And so he's like, yes, that's so cool. And the Hierophant energy comes in and it's like, let's study it. Let's teach it. You know, let's spend contemplative moments. And he's like more steadfast with it. You know, we need all of it. The Knight of Wands helps the Hierophant spark that expansion and change to pull in even more ideas or more inspirations. You know what I'm saying? They're all good. They're all bad. There is no good or bad. Oh my gosh, you guys. I'm fucking crazy. Also, I want to say to myself and to you guys too, is that we're gonna change so quickly that like a lot of us want to, like for me personally, I want to do a project and I want to be totally the best at it before I share it. Okay, and that's really good, and that's definitely a good way to expose a product, and it's a good way to bring in listeners. But I'm feeling called to just be authentic and master that. And so as you watch me master that, you'll watch me change my ideas, change the way I talk, change the way I present myself, change how I express myself, and my downloads might change. You know what I'm saying? As I become less and less identified with my ego, I would assume it would change. And I'm allowing my ego to shut the fuck up and you watch me change, okay? So you watch me act like a jackass and contradict myself in the next, you know, and there's beauty in that, okay? So yeah, I get the courage card. It says just be courageous to be who you are, and be courageous to be in the dark until you grow into the light. And that's clarifying this Queen of Wands that's kind of holding on to the old, okay? And with this ego death, there's endless possibilities of a beautiful future, okay? We're going to be able to expand and create in the moment more than we've ever been able to create in this dense karmic time realm. And again, I don't know how far out in the future I'm seeing. And this is patience. So patience is, you know, it's just giving you the advice of like, where you want to control, where you want to know the future, where you want to be on top of everything. You've got to let it go. Look at the hardness of this card and the softness of this card and the colors in this card, as opposed to, this is just very strong root chakra energy. And this is just control, okay? Consciously too, we're keeping the virus under control and doing all this stuff. There's that there too. But this energy to me is just how we've been as a society, and we're moving, and this is very masculine and this is extremely feminine. We're trying to merge the two, just like we're merging the Knight of Wands with the Hierophant. We're merging all the aspects of these characters in the cards in the Tree of Life, that they walk through the Tree of Life. It's all symbolic. But we're merging all the characters in our lives too, to see them all as us. And that is a shift in consciousness. Anyway, so this shift moves you into this place of just being and letting things birth when life wants to birth them, in the rhythm of the life. You can't make a baby be born before it's going to be born. So it's like letting go and letting this consciousness be born when it's going to be born, letting go of the control. So when you do feel like you need to know what's going on and you need to know the point B, that you're coming from the point A, the point B is to relax into the now. That is the destination. The destination is to just be, okay? That's so crazy, right? And this is just my, this is just me, okay? I'm not telling you how to be or who to be. I'm just telling you me, okay? I just want to be like really, really like mindful of that. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this is the union card. So we're unifying with all these aspects of ourselves on our heart, kind of over the mind, and this is just consciousness. This is just the consciousness. We're moving into our consciousness, our awareness. We're being that in the near future. And it's not going to stop, because the outcome's judgment. It's like spirit, 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 spirit. So we're hibernating, we're resting, and we're healing. Healing being moving into our consciousness, okay? We're healing and we're learning to trust. The healing is trusting. Trusting is the antidote to the sickness. It is how we heal. Trusting what life is doing. More than knowing what life is doing even. It's just trusting. Just trusting. So if you don't know, if you can't see what it's doing, just trust it. And that's like a deeper state of consciousness in a sense, because knowing what life is doing is still helping out the ego. Trusting is just letting go of any kind of grounding that the ego would have. So that's like a deeper level, and becoming a master of your universe. That's how you master your universe. And that's how we're going to master our universe. Yeah. Slowing down is the adventure. Slowing down is the adventure. So, have you, if the meditators, the ones that just meditate all the time, and they're smiling and they're Buddha, like those, like that. And they're just they're like blissed out of their mind. Like they're experiencing the universes of God, consciousness. Okay, it's not really boring, but it's almost like you have to be bored to get there, or be okay with being bored to get there. To get to that place where you start creating new foundations. Whoa. Okay, the judgment. Oh, this is rough, man. The judgment is on the miser. Okay? The hoarders. The hoarders, the toilet paper hoarders. Judgment on the toilet paper hoarders. Oh my God. Judgment on the miser. Look at, they're keeping all the treasures to themselves, and they're like so ugly and old and me. Oh. Mine. Don't take, you take. When you're in the moment, there's no need. Okay, I am not lecturing, okay? It's just like me talking to myself, okay? FYI. Okay. Back to this. So when you're in the moment, you can manifest whatever you want. When you get into that place, you're manifesting the universes, you're in peace. You accept all that is. The need and the want and the desire is like just gone. You don't need to hoard anything. Like, it's not a thing. Like, a hoarding is like keeping it so you don't ever lose it, and it's a time thing, It's like in the present moment, you can let it go if some other aspect of yourself wants it, because you're one with all that is. And then when you need something else, it'll come, because that's the way it works in that realm. That's the realm we're moving in. So we gotta let go of these energies, because they're weighting us down, and we're moving into a light energy. It's not light to hoard even traumas. I'm sorry, guys. I have them too. It's like, we don't ever like get rid of them per se, like you don't just like throw away your treasures in the trash. Yes, your traumas are your treasures. They've made you who you are. Yeah, they're your treasures. They're your diamonds. You don't throw them in the trash. You can give them away. You can bless somebody else with them. But they're too heavy of a weight to keep them to yourself. You let them move back in the flow of energy. So your trauma, you release it, you disidentify with it, but you allow it to be as who your identity was, and you let it go in the flow. You let it just be, go where it wants to go, teach where it wants to teach. You don't have to destroy it. It just has to move. Holding on to things is too heavy for us to survive. Like a virus needs to move through you in your lighter energy. You can't identify with it too much, and virus will get caught in your stuck energy. And I'm probably not explaining that very well, but this is the best I can do for that. So, miser, what are we holding on to? What's heavy? What are we not letting go of? Because those are the things that spirit is just it's like density in the body, like something in the body that's being held in the body, and spirit comes as this energy, and it's just gonna hurt until you release it, until you let it flow, go with the flow. Accepting it is everything, because then you are that spirit accepting that thing. And when spirit does that, it's not accepting it. Spirit just wants to move in you. And the resistance is the pain. And what's going on here on this earth, spirit wants to move in us. change. Let's get adaptable. Let's adapt to change. We've been holding on to a system for so long as the way it should be, and that's just, it's just over identifying. It's just holding on too much, and Spirit kind of wants to take over a little bit. Yeah. Spirit's who you are. It's a death and rebirth with a bunch of possibilities. It's asking you to trust and let go and the whole thing. So if you want a personal read, I really am working on reading people's blocks, things like this is the kind of thing you need to let go of, and I can get more specific with you, like if it is trauma or if it's literally like physical things like money or a relationship, or, you know, I mean, honestly, it's any attachments, but we can work on it. You know, just to help you see what Spirit's doing in your life as well. So I do give personal reads, and my information's in the description box, and you just need to email me. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen, and good luck, okay? Spirit's with you. Just relax, accept what is, breathe. Breathing brings you back to yourself, and get out in the sun and drink water if you can do that, okay? I do recommend you start up a channel or a blog. I feel like it's a really healthy way to express yourself to yourself. And also, I think it's a teacher to see how your relationship with yourself. You might notice yourself judging yourself on the camera. You might start judging the way you look or the way you're talking, and it's not good enough. It's a good opportunity to accept that, you know, and things you don't like, you can edit, you know, but at the same time, yeah, do it for you. Do what you want to do. Do what is calling you. That's all I have. Thank you.